Hi, Dr. Tina. Happy holidays. I promised you I would come back and make a video comment, and I wanted to do that. I get it. I totally get it. And I think two things can be true. Number one, no matter what we do, how we speak, turning things in on time, being organized, what our hair looks like, some people will always find minutia and reasons to deem us incompetent, not well prepared, etc. That can be true. And yeah, those may be tools of white supremacy. But I also think that as an engineering educator, as an educator at all, as a professor, my job is to give my students their best foot forward walking into that workplace, regardless of how they received, regardless of any biases, misogyny, racism, bigotry they may encounter. I want them to walk into that place knowing I have prepared them to be successful, regardless of how other people want to treat them. And I do agree with you that being that I have a PhD and have been teaching engineering for 20 years, my spirit of excellence may mean that my expectations of my students may be different than, run-of-the-mill people. But I'm not doing my job if I don't do that. And I don't want to say that I'm being a tool of white supremacy by doing those things, because I know what it was like to be not first generation college student, first generation PhD, first generation engineer, and having no clue what I was doing, right? And so me giving students a heads up or giving them resources about these things, I hope is not me trying to get them to, for example, kowtow to white supremacy standards by code switching or anything like that, but giving them the best foot forward. And I think until we're all working in places where we're not going to experience that, then I can't look at it like that. So when I talk about professional standards, I'm not talking about hair or not even necessarily how you speak, because people say I'm not like a traditional engineering professor you would see. But do you have the tools for the job that you are preparing for to be able to go in there and do it? I think, especially since the pandemic, this has gotten way worse. Having more students who are just not prepared for college, don't know how to self-organize, don't know how to ask questions, don't know how to schedule their time for long-term projects. Those are things you're going to have to be able to do as an engineer. So I hope that kind of makes sense. So I don't think I'm necessarily disagreeing with you. It's just a matter of what do we do to help young people get ready for where it is they want to go to be successful, if they can, and give them the resources to do that, regardless of how they're treated, regardless of how other people perceive them, and how, you can't unfortunately change how other people judge you. You may have to change jobs and change careers. I did. I worked as an engineer for Ford Motor Company. That was my first job out of college. Yeah. That was where I had a black woman tell me braids weren't professional. That's where I had a bunch of white men telling me that I wasn't competent and qualified. That's why I left, got my PhD, because I was like, I got to go and teach young people and help prepare them for this foolishness. Have a great holiday and stay STEMtastic.